It's a brand new week of Grand Slam Saturday. This coming to you for August 14, 2021. Big Polly coming to you. And we begin things in the Big Apple, the New York circuit. Pat O'Connor defending against not superstar Billy Graham. Oh, almost got you there, didn't I, Al? He's going to face Dr. Jerry Graham tonight in New York, but we know now that O'Connor has a date with John Pesek later on this show from Waterloo, Iowa. Let's go over the New York results real fast. Most of these bouts were one fall 20-minute bouts, unless it was otherwise noted, and our title bouts are always one fall 60. Black Japan and the Nightmares. Black Japan is the Great Muta and Masahiro Chono. They come in as fan favorites. They took the Nightmares to a 20-minute draw. Magnificent Morocco was going to face Randy Savage. Actually got the opportunity to face Randy Savage because Gorilla Monsoon had some car trouble, so that changed the plans a little bit. Savage got the plaudits of the fans, and it was Savage winning by countout in just under 16 minutes. Tiger Mask and Bob Orton Jr. Ace go to a double countout. They'll pick up a point each. Shinya Hashimoto wins by DQ over Crusher Verdue. Jack Sherry and The Undertaker, who knew each other from their old Montreal days, they went to a 20-minute draw, as did Dick the Bruiser and CM Punk. The fans want to see those two hook up one more time in a couple of weeks, and I think the promoters will let them. The Crusaders win by pin over Mr. Uganda and Pak Song. In a world title eliminator, Pesek won by DQ. John Pesek over Dory Funk Jr. As Funk Jr. was taking a pounding, so Terry Funk came in, put a leg on one of Dory's legs on the ropes, and that caused a DQ. Pesek wins. He'll face Pat O'Connor in a few days. The newly created Federation Tag Titles and heavyweight title, was defended. Because I couldn't call it the Worldwide title or the World title, because I already got a World title, so we just call it the Federation. Think Star Trek. The Road Warriors over Gordman and Goliath. Funk Brothers ran in, and I would say it was in the, and I didn't get the particulars on that match. I'll just say, let's just look here, because I know the Road Warriors took a pounding in this bout. So let me just see here and get that straightened out. I'm going to guesstimate it was about a 3-star bout between these two teams. So let's just fix that now. It was 271 to 142, and they don't save the star rating on this. Wrestling's Finest. But I'm just gonna say it was 3 stars from what I could remember. Sometimes you just gotta estimate. So yeah, the Road Warriors took a pounding against Gordman and Goliath, but it was the Funk Brothers interfering, and they want a shot at the Federation titles. So they will likely get one in a couple of weeks, as you hear some rumbles of thunder. So I better try to do this fast. Sting and Kurt Angle. Sting won quickly, 352, a body slam. And let's get this bout started, because I'm hearing rumbles of thunder over me here, and I want to try to get it in. So here we go. Dr. Jerry Graham. I don't think we've ever had Graham on the show before. He's 3-2-2. He did pretty good in San Juan, but that circuit folded, merged with New York, and so far as champ, Pat O'Connor 4-0-1. Rolling cradle right off the bat, and he gets him. Talk about quickness. Dr. Jerry Graham pinning the first move. And sometimes you will get this in title bouts. And Jerry Graham was ranked high, but his skill rankings are a bit low in the lower 100. So he really didn't deserve to be there. And O'Connor retains by pin, and will pick up 2 points. About when a grand total of 63 seconds, which was faster than some of Mike Tyson's knockouts. The rolling cradle. And just like that, one move and it was over. And that's that. So Pat O'Connor wins, and now we head down to Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. And welcome to our next stop here on Grand Slam Saturday. We're in the ATL circuit, the Atlanta circuit. Kind of think of it as a combination of the NWA and WCW. We have a world light heavyweight, not light heavyweight, but a junior heavyweight title match. It helps when the host knows his own titles. And we're going to go through quickly what happened in the Atlanta card. Because, again, I got a thunderstorm knocking on the door, so I'm going to try to get this done quick. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew of Ole and Gene Anderson drew with the Flying Scots. Ric Flair drew with Ray Steele over from St. Louis in the merged circuit that has many of the old NWA circuits, St. Louis, Tampa, Knoxville, Portland, and so forth. Roddy Piper loses to Kevin Sullivan on a pile driver. Dick Davis Court, Miguel Perez Sr. go to a time limit draw. Kurt Hennig outsmarts Dusty Rhodes and wins by countout. The team of George Becker and Johnny Weaver making some strides in the Atlanta circuit. They beat the Interns and Dr. Ken Ramey. Mr. Wrestling 2 wins by countout over Barry Windham, a rematch of a match they had in the old Atlanta circuit before it merged with everybody a few weeks back. The Renegade Warriors win by DQ, but they do not win the titles against the Blonde Bombers team of Pat Patterson and Ray Stevens. Big Van Vader loses by DQ over Magnum TA. TA does not win the title, so they will probably have a rematch in a couple of weeks. So that brings us to our World Junior Heavyweight title bout. Jerry the King Lawler. Now, of course, Lawler for many years in his career was over the junior heavyweight weight limit. But my rule is if somebody weighs under 225 pounds or they were a notable junior heavyweight title holder, as Lawler was in the 70s, feuded with, I think it was Jackie Fargo for the Southern junior heavyweight crown, so he'll go at it. And Jackie Pallo now has been champion of the junior heavies for a while. Our match is set to go. Let's go to it. Try to get this in before we get a thunderstorm. Jerry is 17-5-1. He's had 23 matches in 31 weeks in week 4. We're 31 weeks into week 4. Jackie Pallo is 6-6-3. And we have a very quick stoppage. And it was Pallo using the belt to KO Jerry Lawler. The match already done. It took all of a half minute, 30 seconds. Well, that was a lucky break for me. So Pallo wins by pinfall to retain his junior heavyweight title. Of course, he had some foul play to do it. He wins in 30 seconds. Lawler was out like a light. And that was all she wrote. Not much happening there. Match gets a 3-star rating, probably for the unique finish. And it was one move and done. We had our first match, it went 1 minute and 3, and our second match went 30 seconds. Not too shabby. And now we will head on off to the brand new Texas circuit that has merged with Minneapolis and Memphis. So stand by. And welcome to our third bout. Yes, I said that right. Our third bout on Grand Slam Saturday. If you have tuned up to this video, to this point in the video, we have already gone through 2 matches. One went 1 minute and the other went 30 seconds. So we have our World Tag Team title bout coming for you right now. And let's do the recap, as we always do, of the card up to this main event. Youngblood and Steamboat trying to regain their World Tag Team titles against Ultimo Guerrero and Dr. Wagner Jr. In our opener, the Midnight Express win by pinfall over America's Most Wanted. It was Nick Bockwinkel winning over Red Bastien by a countout. Bout went 15-11. Freddie Blassie over Kerry Von Erich after a low blow. Wahoo McDaniel falls to Wild Bill Longson. Bruiser Brody upsets Dick Hutton. Double DQ between the Miller Brothers and the Hart Foundation. Vern Gagne and Jake Roberts went to a 20-minute draw. There was a handshake after the bout, so Who knows? Maybe Jake Roberts turns babyface in the near future. And in our 3 title bouts before this one, we had the fabulous Moolah retain against China in 5:24, a body slam. The High Flyers over the Sheepherders in a hard-hitting bout, 28:02. It was Wagner over Luke Williams with a flying headbutt. Double count-out between Danny Hodge and probably our greatest grappler in GSW not to win a championship belt as of yet in Kola Coriani. And we have our world title bout in the ring. Wagner and Guerrero defeated recently Youngblood and Steamboat in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So now the champs get a rematch, see if they can win the titles back. The champs opted to have defend the title rules so they could be a little more uncouth in an effort to retain their title. The champs 3-1-0 in year 4. We've had this will be the 27th bout for Youngblood and Steamboat in year 4 in GSW. This is the 31st week, so they've been going at it hot and heavy. 15-6-5 is their record. And there's the bell, and we're about to be underway here between these 2 fine teams. Wagner and Guerrero stunning the world a few weeks back in Chattanooga, winning the titles. So no action to start our bout, an auto control loss, and a quick pin hold by the challengers, no pin. So early on, not much doing except for that pin attempt, and double teaming now by the challengers, and a headlock. Headlock scores for the challengers. Youngblood and Steamboat have been champs so many times. I think they have been champs 5 times. I don't have my title histories up at the moment. But they have held the title the longest. They had just had a 25-week reign as champs. Just ended a couple of weeks ago. Now they're trying to get the titles back. And we have a little bit of action. The challengers doing well in the first 3 minutes. A double team attempt there by the champs scores. Stretch muffler by Guerrero, and that was countered. Wagner Jr. and Guerrero counter a ropes move by the challengers, and they have a ropes move of their own, a flying shoulder block, but that does not result in a successful pinning combination. So we've had 3 pin attempts in the first 4 minutes. 2 of them have gone the challengers' way. As you may hear rumbles of thunder behind me. It's been that kind of week here, folks, and we're about to get a tropical storm here on the west coast of Florida tomorrow night going into Sunday. That's tomorrow night time, my day being Friday. A kick by the champs, and double teaming not successful, so the challengers go for a headlock at the 450 mark. About even, this bout is. I sound like Yoda saying that. A leg hold countered, a supplé attempt countered by the champs, and a whip to the ropes countered that was attempted by the challengers. A pin hold countered. We're seeing a lot of counters, a lot of how do I say it? A lot of feeling out going on in the early going of this bout. Nerve hold by the challengers. That's going to knock 4 points off of the champions tally. Champions leading by 8 points at the 6:04 mark. And a double team move, and a big one, 30 points off the champions' numbers. So they're down to 67 below. Fan interaction. So the fans here in Houston, home of the Texas circuit, getting behind Youngblood and Steamboat. By the way, we use Wrestling's Finest version 3, the invention of Tom Vogel. Body slam. And no pin there. And some more double teaming. This is big. 40 points off the champions totals. And 15 more on another double team. And we have a cut. Hard to see with them wearing masks, but it looks like Dr. Wagner Jr. has a little trickeration of blood over one of his eyebrows, and you could see it kind of going through the mask, and that is about a 16-point cut. Supplé by the challengers, not going to be enough for a pin. And we're at the 8:34 mark. And we've had a guest commentator challenge Dr. Wagner Jr. to a match. If they lose the titles, they'll probably be going back to Mexico City. So I'm trying to think, who is that masked man sitting at red? I think it's El Santo. El Santo might be challenging Dr. Wagner Jr. to a match, but they have to lose the championships first, and there's no guarantee that's going to happen. A slam body press combination countered at the 8:47 mark. So while on we go, the challengers with a big lead, the champs trying to draw back in with a kick that will take 6 points off, and another kick, 6 points off, and a neck hold. They want to slow the bout down a little bit, I would think. No action. Double team attempt. And that's 15 more points off of the champs total. So the champs in trouble at the 10.5-minute mark. And another big double team move. And that's another 35 points off. Slam on a body press. We could have new champs. No, on the rope. So the count was halted, but they were so close to regaining the World Tag Team titles right there. Legal forearm and an illegal turnbuckle move by Wagner and Guerrero, followed by an illegal throat chop. Legal throw by the champs. And a pin hold. No pin. And on we go at the 12:46 mark. More double teaming by the champs this time. 15 points off the challengers total. But the challengers way ahead of the battle as things stand right now. Wagner Jr. and Guerrero with more double teaming. 15 points off and 25 points off on another series of double teaming. So they're creeping back in the match. The champions are now only trailing by 109 points. Diving splash by Wagner Jr., and that was countered. Illegal turnbuckle move by the challengers. Diving splash move was by Dr. Wagner Jr., by the way, and the illegal turnbuckle move scores. No action, back to the champs. And they use arm holds outside the ring. We're at 14:43 into this bout. Slam and a body press. Could Youngblood and Steamboat be champions again? The answer is yes. They get the pin. And we have brand new World Tag Team Champions, Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat, get the deed done. And they regain the World Tag Team titles. I do not have my stats out, so I do not know how. I think this is at least the 5th, maybe the 6th time they have held the World Tag Team titles. So that's a pin, and Wagner Jr. and Guerrero are going to go back to Mexico City. Their reign as World Tag Team title holders has concluded. Time of the fall, 15:36. And it was, let's see here, Youngblood over Guerrero after a slam body press combination. So order restored, I guess you could say, in the tag team division. Youngblood and Steamboat back on top again. 3.5-star match. And now we head to Waterloo, Iowa for some Okerlund Cup action. So stand by for that. And welcome to our final whistle stop on the tour this week for Grand Slam Saturday, after you just saw Youngblood and Steamboat win the World Tag titles a 5th time. Yes, I looked it up. So now we're going to show you the finals of the St. Louis and Minnesota tournaments, Minneapolis tournaments. And then show you the big one, the main event everybody's been waiting for, John Pesek trying to regain the GSW heavyweight title a 3rd time against Pat O'Connor. But first, let's talk about what has happened in our tournament matches so far to wrap up week 31 of year 4. We started with we had 6 teams in each of the fields. So we started off with the Dusick Riot Squad being held to a draw, surprisingly, by Paul London and Ryan Kendrick, but because the Dusicks were the higher seed, they advance. America's Most Wanted went to a draw with George Becker and Johnny Weaver. At the time we drew up the seeds, AMW had a higher seeding than Becker and Weaver because Becker and Weaver were brand new to GSW at the start of the third quarter of year 4. So therefore, A&W got the nod. Then we went to the St. Louis quarterfinals. Bruiser and Crusher over the Atomic Pair, El Santo and Gory Guerrero. The Grapplers win by pin over Les Thatcher and Whitey Caldwell. That was the debut for this team in GSW. Then we went to the Minnesota semifinals. The High Flyers defeated A&W, the first of their U.S. tag title defenses. We are about to see the second such defense. And it was the Miller Brothers winning over the Dusick Riot Squad by DQ. They would have gotten the nod anyway had it gone to a draw because the Millers were the higher seed. The Flying Scots defeat the Grapplers, and Gene and Ole beat Bruiser and Crusher. So that sets up our Minnesota or Minneapolis final. It will be for the newly minted United States tag titles, and it's going to be the High Flyers in one corner and the Miller Brothers in the other. And this will be a one-fall 60-minute time limit match. The U.S. titles will be at stake, as is our custom. And we are setting up that match for you right now, and it's a title match, and Brunzell and Gagne are the champions, or Gagne, and this will have the tournament rules, DQ minus 10, and both teams will be even because they each had one match. They each had a bye in the first round, so they face each other in the finals. And we will, there's no moves to be made because the only move that could be made was a ropes move. So we will just ignore that and get our U.S. tag title bout started. This is also going to serve as the Minneapolis final, and whoever wins the Minneapolis final will face whoever wins the St. Louis final between the Scots and Gene and Ole Anderson. So the U.S. titles are on the line here, and we get started with a whip to the ropes by the champs, followed by a speed move, turnbuckle move countered. Miller Brothers' first move is countered, which was a legal choking. Face rake by the High Flyers. A pinhold countered, a legal chop by the Millers scores. And a double team scores for the Millers. Right now we're about dead even, but we're only 2 minutes into the bout. Some more countering and illegal punches by the High Flyers. Fight the fire with fire. The Flyers come in 4-1-3. They've had 8 matches so far in year 4. I keep the stats for the current year, and when we get to year 5, I will eventually reset them. The Millers are 2-3-3. High Flyers score a double team, and they use punches outside the ring. Body slam move countered by the Millers. Of course, the Millers have a size advantage on them. Reverse neckbreaker countered. Illegal punches by the Flyers. Suplex attempt scores for the High Flyers. A little energy boost there, a little strength boost. And right now the High Flyers in control. A drop kick countered by the Millers. They just put the Brunzell was going for a drop kick, and one of the Miller brothers just put his arms up to block it and just like shoot him away like a bug, like get out of here. The illegal punches by the Millers, no action, and a body slam by the Millers, and not very good odds of getting a pin there. So we're 5:13 into the bout. It's about even. Double drop kick by the High Flyers, and a double team. Illegal punches, kick countered, power moves by the Millers, no action. Oh, and the Millers getting into it with the fans here in Waterloo, a smattering here in Waterloo. We've had a few title changes in Waterloo over the years. We've had at least a couple of world title changes. Of course, that is where the Luthez George Dragos Wrestling Hall of Fame is. Legal forearm by the Flyers, followed by a double team. No action. Illegal punches by the Millers score. And some more double teaming. And a kick by the Millers. And the High Flyers go for an illegal turnbuckle move. No, that was the Millers going for the turnbuckle move. That was illegal. Kick by the Flyers. Illegal punches by the Flyers, who are not from Philadelphia, and a headlock. We're 10-12 into this bout. As I pause for a moment to get a beverage. Always keep your beverages right by you. You never know when you're going to need them, and you never know when your mouth's going to get dry. And one of the Miller brothers had his leg posted, just wrapped around the ring post, so that's going to do damage. And the High Flyers have opened up a bit of a lead, a kick, whip to the ropes, auto control loss, and the Miller brothers come back with a suplex. Reverse neckbreaker again countered by the Flyers, who slap a headlock on. So the Flyers with an 87-point lead. They've only taken 82 points of damage. No cuts yet in the bout. Double team attempt by the Flyers scores. And a drop kick out of nowhere. That does not get even a 1 count. And they go for a small package. 1 and a kick out at 1. Illegal turnbuckle move that... Miller's using ropes for leverage. No pin. No pin. So far we have had 5 pin attempts in the bout. The Millers with 3 of them. They do some double teaming. They try to get back in the match. And some choking. No pin. Double team attempts again by the Millers. And the Miller brothers nail the Flyers as they try to enter the arena floor. Back in from the arena floor. They say, permission denied. And that's 10 points off the Flyers score. Kicked by the Millers. And we have had a double DQ. A double DQ. Which means Millers had to win the tournament. The double DQ will mean that the Flyers win the Minnesota branch of the tournament. Flyers retain and win the tournament. And that is going to be I take that back. The Miller brothers are going to pick up 2 points. But more importantly, the time with about 16:42, the High Flyers are going to move on and face whoever wins the St. Louis tournament in week 37. Think we have finalized a locale for week 37 action, the round of 16 in the Okerlund Cup, and that's going to be Dublin, Ireland. Just across the pond from London, where Okerlund Cup 3 is going to be handled. I think it's Okerlund Cup 3. And we will now set up match number 2. And this is kind of a Mid-Atlantic all-time bout between the Flying Scots. George and Sandy Scott will be facing Ole and Gene Anderson, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Don't think we have ever had either team on Grand Slam Saturday on this fine YouTube channel, Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims. Look for us on Facebook, by the way, Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims. We're there too. We're a small but a hearty bunch on that Facebook group. I thank all of you who have joined and will join one of these days. So looks like Gene and Ole could be favored here, as the Scots are at 203 and Ole and Gene are 231. Don't you love the handlebar mustache there that Ole has, and Gene kind of has the mutton chops going. So this is not for a title. This is just to determine who wins the St. Louis tournament. And the computer likes Gene and Ole, as do I. The Scots are 7-4-2. Ole and Gene 2-2-2. Deuces wild. And off we go with the St. Louis final. No action. Auto control lost, neck hold by the Wrecking Crew. And they love to ground and pound their adversaries. Illegal punches, so Ole and Gene off to a good start. Flying knee with an arm bar, but that's not going to get it done. That is a submission attempt, by the way. So perhaps I shouldn't have gone for it. And a hard slam by Ole and Gene, no pin. Arm hold by the Scots. Sleeper countered by Ole and Gene, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, doing some damage here early on. Already opened up a 50-point lead at the 4-minute mark, and a double team. And this is where the Wrecking Crew lives. These double team maneuvers, isolating one man from the other and just working him over with those slams with the arm in a hammerlock position. Pinhold by the Scots, but that didn't even get a 1 count. That was 3 points off of the Crew. No action, auto control loss. Leg hold by the Scots. Remember, we go 60 minutes. If the result is a draw or a double countout, like you just saw, a double DQ, then the highest seed wins, which would be the Scots. I don't think I set up -10. We're just going to keep on. Just going to keep on going. And no pin there. I think I did not set the DQ to -10. Oh well. Legal forearm. No pin. Illegal throw. No pin. Hey, accidents happen in matches all the time, so I'm not even going to go back and worry about it. An arm hold by the Crew. More double teaming by the Crew, and they have a comfortable lead on points right now, but of course you don't decide a match that way. Leg hold by the Wrecking Crew. Flying knee armbar combination, and there was no chance of a submission, so I shouldn't have even tried it. More double teaming, and again, no action. Double pile driver move, ka-chunk. And yeah, the Wrecking Crew way ahead here. They've each had a match, so neither team has a fatigue advantage here, as I would like to call it. A fan interaction. Fans trying to get the Scots going here. They come back with some illegal punches and a headlock and an arm hold. Another headlock. And now it's Scots denying permission for Gene and Ole to enter the ring. That's -10. Body slam by the Scots. No pin. Fan interaction again. Crowd giving the Scots encouragement. Trying to get him back in this match. An auto control loss followed by illegal punches. More auto control losing here. And punches by the Scots. Scots trying to get back into it. But again, flying knee and an armbar. It's not going to score a submission, so we won't try it this time. We are 16 minutes and about. The Crew's still up by about 100 points. Throat chop by the Wrecking Crew. And illegal turnbuckle move. And illegal chop. More double teaming. So we could see a High Flyers Wrecking Crew bout in the round of 16 on week 37. Illegal pin attempt. Submission move by the Scots, but that is going to be nowhere near an acceptable chance of getting it. Double DQ thwarted. Auto control loss. Legal arm hold by the Scots. And a forearm by the Crew. No pin. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. Gene and Ole dominating the action. A face rake. Punches by the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. And chair shot to the head. Oh my stars. And more double teaming and a kick and an arm hold. Illegal choking. They are really on a roll right now. They're going to go for the pin. They do not get it. It was an illegal pin attempt and looked to me as if Sandy was being pinned. George broke that up quick. More double teaming. And the Scots are sad citizens right now. They come back with a headbutt and double teaming of their own, some speed maneuvering, double drop kick. No. So on we go, 24:51 into the bout. It is the Wrecking Crew still dominating. Scots look like they're on their last legs. A legal throw by the Wrecking Crew, followed by choking and a double team. And some more double teaming. No, they almost got the pin there. It was a 40-40-28 pin chance, so they would have had about a 70% chance of getting the pin there. They do not. We play on. It's 26-46 into the bout. The Wrecking Crew have a huge lead now, 250 points. And they pick up another... Actually, no, the Scots pick up 30. And a pin hold for the Scots. Almost get the win. They had a 7 where a 1, 2, or 3 would have gotten it done. Scots have control. Double pile driver, but this time that was countered by the Scots. The legal whip the ropes was countered. Face rake by the Crew. Auto control loss. Scots need something fluky to happen, like a double count out or a double DQ here. Single leg Boston Crab. That's not going to get a submission. Quite about as we go 30 minutes now. If we go to a draw, Scots still win. And a low blow. That gets it done. That gets it done. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew prevail in 30-33. So we're 2/3 of the way through the bouts we're going to have from you from Waterloo, Iowa. They win on a low blow, but they will take it. And let's see, that'll give them 4 points. Time of the fall, 30-33. Fans liked the bout, and so did the critics. And it was Ole pinning Sandy with a low blow. And it was 464. Oh, the Scots took a pounding, and the Wrecking Crew really didn't. They only lost 191. It was a 4-star bout. And Gene and Ole will get the high flyers. In the round of 16. So next week for you on the Saturday Slam, we're going to have action from Tokyo, Mexico City, and London, England. And we will have our 3 Okerlund Cup bouts also added for you. And we'll see if there was any post-match action. Would hate to see that happen after I typed all that in, but we now move to our world title bout, and this will be a dandy. Pat O'Connor, who just became champ a few weeks ago, will have easily his toughest defense as he battles the shooter, John Pesek, who had retired after winning the title a second time. For some reason only known to him, he interfered in a Monarch of the Mat final, which Mitsuharu Misawa won. By the way, Misawa will face whoever the world champion is in London on the Okerlund Cup card. And Pesek has vowed to everybody in GSW he's going to win the title a third time, and he's going to keep it until somebody defeats him. So we'll see what happens here. O'Connor is 5-0-1. Pesek is 1-0-1. And I have set up this bout wrong. So let me just redo it here for you all. This is a World Championship match, of course. And this is one fall, 60 minutes. And there we go. We have it all set up now. Both men will be trading off some moves here. Pesek is a very tough out. George Kidd did very well against him a little while back in London, holding him to a 30-minute draw. So let's see what happens in our world title bout, which has been defended on all the Okerlund Cup battle cards so far, trying to give the world champion some more credibility and more publicity. The winner of this bout will face superstar Billy Graham in Mexico City on next week's Grand Slam Saturday. And off we go, a big one. And it starts with Pesek getting a headlock. O'Connor comes back with a backslide that didn't even get a 1 count. Pesek getting into it with the fans. You would think somebody as schooled as Pesek is would know better. Submission move. Body scissors onto the midsection. We're not even going to try because that's 4-2-0. And whenever you see a 0, that means you're not going to get a submission. Auto control loss. Back to Pesek for a leg hold. 7 points. And a sleeper hold. Some sort of cobra sleeper hold. But he couldn't get a good grasp on Pesek and will go on. Speed move by O'Connor. Supplé attempt counter. We go back to Pesek, who has an arm hold. So very early in the bout, they're trading holds. Very elementary holds. Pesek with a kick. Disqualified check. And a DQ stopped. Big body slam. This could do it. Had very, very low odds of doing it, but that's one of Pesek's pet holds is the big body slam. Pesek comes with a chop, and Pesek doing well as we reach the 10% bout. Part of this bout, 6 minutes in. Arm hold by Pesek. Auto control loss. No action. O'Connor comes back with a body slam. Not really much of a chance of getting him there. Standing abdominal stretch. No pin. Well, we're not even going to try a submission there. Kick by Pesek was countered. O'Connor goes for the airplane spin. There's a slight chance of getting the pin, but doesn't. Body slam by Pesek. And a whip to the ropes, followed by choking. More choking. Big body slam was countered. Rolling cradle by O'Connor was countered. Face rake by Pesek. So Pesek goes for the fisherman suplex and doesn't get the barrel of fish, as O'Connor was able to kick out of that with ease. Big body slam again by Pesek. Didn't even try for the pin, but it wobbled O'Connor. Pesek has opened up a 70-point lead now. Abdominal stretch. That's not going to get a successful pin attempt. We go back to Pesek. Double wrist lock, but that will not score a submission. Face rake by Pesek and a forearm. Using the ropes for leverage. An illegal pin attempt, but the ref spots it and won't count it. A forearm by Pesek. Pin hold. Countered. And a headlock, but O'Connor now noticeably in a bit of trouble. We go on. An arm hold by Pesek and a forearm. And a supplé. 4 pin attempts now for Pesek, 2 for O'Connor. Leg hold by Pesek. Pesek just dominating the action right now. Just going from hold to hold to hold. Submission move, a full Nelson by Pesek. And a power move. Goes in with a running splash. I don't know where he learned that, because Pesek was an early century grappler. But you could teach these guys a few things. Opening up a Pepsi. Choice of a new generation. Legal throw by Pesek. And Pesek just throwing O'Connor around like a ragdoll. No pin, but he is definitely dominating play. As we come up on the 20-minute mark, he has opened up a 150-point lead. So it's just going to be a matter of, can Pesek break O'Connor down in time? O'Connor comes back with a headlock. Headbutt by Pesek. Leg hold. Low blow. Ooh, don't know how everybody missed that or thought it was a glancing blow. Legal throw. No pin. Illegal choking by Pesek. No pin. He's now up to 7 pin attempts to O'Connor's 2 punches. And a submission move that will not that had no chance of getting a submission because there was an O in the third column. Arm hold by Pesek, choking by Pesek, headlock by Pesek. Forearm countered. Supplé attempt countered by O'Connor. Pesek comes right back with a headlock. He is dominating play right now. He's opened up 216-point lead at the 23:19 mark. Auto control loss. O'Connor desperately needs something to happen his way. A headlock might be a start of things. Inside cradle, but no pin attempt. Counter. Chop by Pesek. Throw by Pesek. An arm drag takedown. A kick. Supplé attempt. An arm hold by Pesek. Followed by a leg hold. Especially moved to toe hold. This could be it. Will a shooter once again be champion of GSW? No. No, we go on. We're at 27:33. And we have a double count out. Clutch move by O'Connor. When it looked like he was defeated, he threw Pesek out of the ring. Neither man did not get back into the ring, and O'Connor was not in any hurry. So O'Connor will retain, and he will go to Mexico City to face the Superstar. And let's see, that's going to be 3 points for Pat O'Connor. And Pesek will lose none. 27:47. The time of the fall. Pat O'Connor is still your world champion, even though he was shellacked in this bout. And we may have these two meet again next week on Grand Slam Saturday. But for this week, it's been a pleasure, as always. This is Big Paulie coming to you, wishing you well. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon. And bye-bye for now, everybody.